Hi, Patty.
Hello, Kelly. How are things?
Things have been busy.
As always, good busy, I suppose.
Good busy. I kind of, last time I said I was going to read a couple of books. I haven't finished those because I had a couple of arcs to read. So my TBR was kind of like side-eyeing me, like, weren't you going to read me? So, yeah, I have a couple of new ones to talk to you about.
Okay, okay.
So, I started reading, so I read like 4 arcs in a row. The first one was Twisted Vows. Now, Twisted Vows is, again, a little bit of a mafia romance. Hmm. Our MMC is delicious, by the way. Enzo, very delicious. And our FMC is the daughter of someone who did stuff they shouldn't. Hmm. And oddly enough, only a fake marriage would save her. But it was a fun read. It was a very fun read. I did like it. And then in a completely different sort of read, I did read Watch Me. And honey, first of all, if there is a book you need to mind your triggers, is this one.
Okay.
Mind your bloody triggers. You remember last episode you were talking about obsession? Well, you met your match on this one. He's not just obsessed, he's uber obsessed. And it's super fun. It is a little bit on the gory side, okay? There are some descriptions that are a little bit gory. I mean, it might include severed members, things. Mind your triggers. But I did love it. It's the first. There will be a second one coming out. I'm very curious. It's the Halcyon duet. Um, it's one of those moments of I shouldn't like this, but I do. Like, I really shouldn't like, but I do. I want more. So Maria, you know. Um, and then I love a good military romance, right? Nothing new there. But Jessica Rose had an arc open for Chaos Calls. And I was kind of like, okay, let me have a look. I read it in one day. I devoured it. Like, didn't even, I was like, maybe I'll start page 1. I was in. Page 1, I was done. I love the FMC. I love the story that we go on. You have a good mix of banter, which I love. The military side of it, the operations that they're going on, there is a lot of things still to uncover. Okay, so this was one book, but it's clearly the story's not done. So there's more to it. But I cannot recommend enough. It's so good. The whole story, the things she needs to go through, unfortunately, but like always fighting for her place, which, I mean, we know it's the military with women, it's always a bit tricky. But I want to be her when I grow up. I mean, I kind of know I'm not going to grow up anymore, but like, I want to be her. Just saying. Girl can do damage. And I like it. So I'm like, Jessica, book 2. Just saying I want to read it because I love that. I already bought the Kindle that is coming out because I totally devoured it. I do like all of the boys. I have one in particular that I love, which is Eli. But it is a very good read. I couldn't really put it down. And then speaking of things you can't put down, Eselquins had the arc for the 3rd book. So guess who obviously was kind of like, I want in! Me, right? So this was a time we dove into Dark's story. So Dark was always kind of the fun-loving guy, but at the same time, there's a little bit of an edge to him. But, he's always sarcastic, bantery, but you never really get to know a lot about him. And in this story, we kind of see a bit more of him, who he really is behind all of the rock star demeanor, right? And again, I already loved Dark. Out of all of the band, he was like one of my favorites, and now I think he took the cake. I love Dark. And again, I'm buying that paperback because I need to continue the collection. It's one
Of
of
course.
those things. Now that I started, I ain't stopping. Um, but these were all arcs. These were all very good. I mean, uh, each one within their own style, which I like because I kind of got to play in different arenas. Um, but they were all very good in their own way. You got the obsession, you got the military romance. I just and you got, of course, my rock stars with our SL Kuntz. Stephanie, hi, loved it. You know that because I pinged you. But now I'm super. If I was already curious about Darren's story, now I'm even more. Because what Darren did was unfucking forgivable. But I want to see what's his redemption arc, if there is one.
If there is one, yeah.
Super curious on this. But yeah, it was a fun time. Good books. A couple of things still to come out in terms of arcs that we're kind of waiting on, but let's see. And then I'll go back to my TBR and finish Ashfall. That I can stop middle. But yeah, I'll
Well,
finish. I still want to continue to see more of Nocturne. Nock is interesting. But yeah, that was my week. Did nothing, read 4 books.
it's a very busy week, I can see.
A bit. How about you? Did you have some fun?
Yeah, I did. First of all, I would like to shout out to Briella Brezzo, who got her their Tangled Fates book
Ooh,
released.
okay.
Yeah, so shout
Okay.
out, and I really hope wish her much success. Yeah, so it was a very good book that we arced. And I also arced the second one. This is a
Good.
duology, a duet. So their Tetra Truth. It will be only released on the summer. However, I was lucky enough. We were lucky enough to be part of the arc of the second book as well. So I'm very happy. So these two books are about it's kind of the Fey world meets the human world, and they are in war together and against each other, not together, against each other. And yeah, it's love between different races, like like
Yeah.
for proximity, forbidden love, and all that we love. The world building was completely different from what we are used to in romantasy, but I really enjoyed it. And I really recommend for the romantasy readers. This duet is you will love it. You will love it. But before I did the arc of the second book, we were also lucky to be part of a different arc for Bibi in Moonvale, Hers to Follow. Um, and I think it will be only released in June. However, if you want to arc for them, you go to their page, and I think there is a form there. You can fill out and be part of the arc, and you won't regret it. This book is about eternal love without boundaries.
Mm.
Literally goes everywhere. It is it's two worlds colliding. And
So hard not to give spoilers, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's never well. I know that we are always saying the same, but yeah, it's not. It's never easy because my goal here is to tell you that this is definitely a book that you should read. Without telling you why, but just trust me.
Trust me, go read and then we'll talk.
I know what I'm talking about. So if you like this, it is paranormal, romantasy,
Mhm.
paranormal.
Mm.
It's the first setup is in Europe, is in Germany. Um, and the second setup is in the US. And what can I say more
Go
than
read.
that? Well, you will like it. It has a lot of descriptions. It takes you makes you really visualize the scene, the story, the love. We
The
can
Conrad of it.
Yeah, we can only wish to have a Conrad in our life. Emma is indeed a very lucky
Mhm.
woman, and yeah, paranormal,
Mhm.
romantasy, two worlds colliding and then coming together. Great writing, great descriptions. Yeah, highly recommend it. So now I'm waiting for the second one, and yeah.
Yeah, I know your pain. Also
What can we
waiting on.
say, right? Like when we come, like we put our names to this, we already know that we are going
Yeah,
to suffer. So sometimes we can deal easily with it. Sometimes we don't, and we can't stop thinking about it. So yeah.
idea.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to finally get you on our
Mhm.
podcast and talk a little bit, Rafe, Ashton.
So,
You
yeah.
know, because I didn't like that book at all.
No, no, we didn't.
Mm,
Sorry.
mm, mm,
We
mm.
have a new book boyfriend, I guess.
What do you mean your book boyfriend? He's already gone to husband, honey.
I
That's
love
fine.
that. Zona.
He's not
Yeah.
in boy. No, he's husband material. Okay.
He did get a very nice ring. Yeah. So, he's pretty good at that.
Mm. I would
Did
not
he
mind at
message
all.
you while reading?
Of course I did. Of course, we messaged him Randall while I was reading. I was like, oh,
Yes, I remember. Wait,
yeah. And then I sent her a meme that I found of someone breaking a glass, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. Like,
I read
I'm such a calm
because
reader.
you were like, the first thing you said was there better be a second book. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, there is a plan. There is a plan there.
I never hide my intentions, right? It was as simple as
No,
No.
you did. You were very open, very upfront.
never. I don't hide that. No, and I'm sure I asked you on the spot to be on the ARC team
Right.
because
Okay.
mm, because maybe I like them.
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe.
He has some qualities that
Maybe.
are okay. I love
Oh,
that.
and eight. Wow. Yeah. It's quite
Yeah.
a lot.
I don't know. And maybe I just like, I mean, I don't know which band inspired you, but I know which one I saw there, which was even worse.
Which is even worse. But I
Yeah.
mean, when I was trying to embody Rafe, when I
Mm.
was trying to write him, there were three main
Mm.
figures because he had a physical form and he had inspirational form. So the inspiration would have
Mhm.
been Vessel from Sleep Token, obviously.
Scene. I feel seen.
and then and then
Vessel?
the sort of, I mean, he's very obsessed with and makes it very obvious that he's obsessed with Greek mythology, which also Vessel from Sleep Token is, because he wrote like things like Damocles and things like that. But also Hosier talks about it a lot. So he's more of a poet. If you read some of his lyrics, I don't know if you ever have, but he's very poetic. He talks about Orpheus and other things like that in a lot of his work. And then the physical embodiment was someone more like a bit between Noah Sebastian from Bad Omen and
So Vessel and Noah Sebastian
right,
in
they're
one. I'm like,
together. There was that was the inspiration. But the bit
That's the perfect man. You just created the perfect man.
truly, yeah, I guess so. That's correct. But I was trying to get all of that inspiration together, and then physically in my head, when I see him on stage, he's a mix of Noah Sebastian and Brandon Lee from The Crow. That look. So see, it's that mix, because he has longer hair and things like that. He doesn't have the shorter hair, but Noah Sebastian had longer hair at one point too. But
he did.
so
He did. And he looked
yeah,
very nice with
We,
long
we
hair.
definitely need to tag Noah Sebastian.
read this book.
I know.
Yeah.
The book. We'll put them all, like, you know, and
Tag 'em
spose.
all. I mean, there is actually
Anyway.
the chapter Aqua Regia, which was a big inspiration because of the fact that there's that song, and it helped me. That was one of the first things that I did. Was I was like, if I'm going to write this kind of person, which is almost nerdy, his level of obsession, really, truly, with Greek mythology, with poetry, all that kind of stuff, I need to understand why someone like Vessel would. Aqua Regia is clearly a sexy song. He's talking about saturate me, I can't get enough, and all of this kind of stuff, right? Right. So I'm like, it's a sexy song, but what would possess his brain to consider this thing that breaks down? I mean, it became a science major basically because I had to look into what Aqua Regia is and what it does and why he would write a song about it that would seem sexy. So then that's when, not to give away parts of the book, when he makes that connection, when Ray makes that connection between Aqua Regia and it breaking something down, because it's not like the strongest element. It's not even, it only does one thing very well, which is break down gold. And it does it better than anything else. And so he talks about it. But anyway, and that was a point where I cracked the case on this character, because once I figured out how he could see that in a romantic way, then I could do everything else about his character. So it was kind of neat. It's that is Rafe. If anybody's interested in, in knowing who Rafe is. Yeah.
I mean, I read it, but still kind of like, just, you know, let's put it this way. You could write 10 books about Rafe. I would devour them all.
True.
Okay.
True. I probably could. I did almost write essentially 2 entire books about him just within the one book, because it is quite a big book. It's could have been split into,
Is
honestly.
that going to be like a 1.5? You know, like going or 2.5 after we see something else, maybe going back.
I mean, that is not off the table, because there is the plan, the outline so far is we have the second story, which follows another. I don't want to spoil who that is, because if you haven't read the book, you don't know who that is. But there is a third book, which is going to be on the character Rithi. And then the fourth book would be a return possibly to Rafe and Kasha. So see where, sort of meet up with them again and see where they're at. And then you have book 5, which would be Ronan. And then, because we have to have all the members, we have to find out how they're doing.
Fully
Obviously.
agreed. I want to be
That follow up.
Right.
Fair.
Exactly.
but never forgetting Rafe.
Never
Like
forgetting
that
Rafe.
first
He's
love,
always
right?
there on the periphery. Right.
I know, but like Rafe.
But Rafe.
Okay. I mean, I love all of the rest of the BEM. Don't get me wrong.
Fair.
But
But
Rafe.
Rafe, I mean, admittedly, I agree.
and vessel. Come on. Like,
I set it up this way on purpose. It's my own fault. I could have done it differently, but I did it. Although
I'm so happy.
the second the second book is I was worried because of that. I was worried about
Mm.
writing the second one because I was like, well, I clearly created this perfect rock star
Man.
for, you know, for me personally, but obviously for others. And then I thought, well, how much am I going to fall in love with the other member of the band? And you know, I have. Their story is really amazing, and I've really enjoyed it, and very different, very, very different. But we have questions about it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to scramble.
We'll get into that, although we won't get too much into that so we don't spoil
Yeah.
it. I mean, I can tell you from the little bit that I was privileged enough to read that I was like, I really want to see how this plays out, because very different personalities at stake, right?
Very, very much so. Much
But
more,
so cool.
much more about. Yeah, I mean, there is where Kasha and Rafe are much more of a slow burn. Very much
Slow burn-ish. Yeah.
yeah, much more of a. These are two very passionate individuals that we get to know.
It's gonna be a little, a little,
Yeah,
yeah, but if it
just a little bit more than that.
because
Yeah, the explosion. Yeah, pretty much. They're very strong-willed. They're both very strong-willed and very fiery people. And and
that's what was gonna make it so much fun.
yeah. When they
I feel so much mischief from what I already saw.
yeah,
So much mischief in the air, and I'm like,
teasing a lot of yes, all the teasing and the banter and a completely different kind of experience. Yes, 100%. And then there are some heavy things, and of course we get to know different members of the band in a deeper way because of the different ways their relationships are formed and the different things that those characters fulfill in the band. So, you know, you have the story of the Ribbon Altar is the name of the band, but then you also have the names of each individual member, and you have Bomos, which is Kiri, and then you have Ronan, and you have Rithi, and you know Hama, and the blood, and you have the reason they're named these things.
the character.
Yeah. And it comes out more in each individual. I still don't know what I'm going to title it though, because it's hard.
Fire
one.
meets Kendall.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
Fire meets Kendall. That's all I have to say about those two.
Yeah, the fire will be there. It's going to be. They're going to have a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm interrupting the flow. I just started talking about the book.
This is exactly the flow. Yes, we prepare questions. No, it doesn't mean we'll actually follow them, because this is the point. Us having fun about the books, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you know I loved your book. I love the fangirl element to it, because I saw myself in that of, like, you know, young, because I'm very young. Very young.
Very much so.
But you know, a girl can dream going to one of those concerts and having that first experience. We all had it in a way, right?
Right.
But we weren't as lucky as Kasha was.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. I mean, they do technically, it is technically I don't know, a second chance, because they did meet. I mean, a lot of people said, well, technically they meet each other. They do meet each other very briefly. I mean, they're not. They're not together in any way or anything like that.
It's not really. It's a quick meeting, right? Of where she, of course, kind of go, and that was about the extent, right, of their interaction. And oh my God, I saw that person. But
yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, which, by the way, that would be me if any questions arise. That would be me meeting any of the men we discussed. Thank you.
I know.
And then I would be calling, oh my God. That would be it. That would be the extent.
I wouldn't have strength to, oh my God, I would like
just laid out.
No, I would.
And then, like,
If it was Noah Sebastian, you would probably be there with me. If it was
15
Vessel, you
days
would.
No,
later.
Sebastian, yeah, that's one of my favorite ladies on here on Booksta. It was her first ever arc that she did for Ribbon, and she's in love with Noah. And I was like, just imagine it's Noah. And she's like, like, basically, she wouldn't be able to function if she imagined it's Noah. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I understand and appreciate, but that's kind of where it was, when writing it. And like you say, the fangirl element, it was because for a whole story here, but I'll try to make it short. 10 years in the
Please don't.
making, I was writing a different series. It's a supernatural series. There are 3 books of it already written, and I was taking a break from the last book in the series from writing it, and I had beta readers in the whole night, and they're mad at me because I left them on a cliffhanger because I haven't read it. But then I went and saw Sleep Token in September of last year in Atlanta, and then we went to Louder Than Life and saw them. And we were, me and my best friend were talking about it, like, would you actually date them? Like, if you actually you actually met them? They're like, well, they haven't really probably gone to therapy. And if you you read any of their lyrics, it sounds like, maybe they need to work on some things, emotionally. But I was like, what if you could make
Don't we all? Don't
I'll
we
help
all,
him.
right?
I'll be his psycho. I don't care. I will help him, right? It's like,
Go
I'm
couples
here.
therapy. We'll go on couples therapy.
Couples therapy.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that. I'm like, what?
It's okay.
So then Rafe became this character that was older in his 30s that had kind of, I think Vessel's in his early 30s from what people have said, but and Noah probably too, but it's one of those things where he's done all of the crazy stuff, and he's such a green flag, right? Everybody says he's like a green flag, and which is so unusual for a rock star romance. Normally they are completely messed up and not
Usually.
a little darker. And the funny thing being that the hometown boy is a little bit more of a red flag. Now that I want to do, I want to ask you guys, because I have a lot of people in the art chatter that, so how did we feel in the end, not giving too much away, about our Dominic? Was anybody ever a fan of Dominic or liked him at the start? No, they didn't think so.
Sorry. I mean, you like him in the sense of, so he has a couple of things going for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
In regards to his situation with his daughter, you can see that he's trying to be the man he needs to be.
Right.
Apart from a couple of issues, namely his ex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was one of the things that when I baited the book, one of the things I didn't listen to, because feedback is incredibly important, and listening to what people have to say, especially when you're at that stage of developing a book. And I had one of the few gentlemen that was a beta reader, and he came back with feedback that Dominic was too good to be true and too perfect, and I needed to give him more that face. And I'm like, I
But
felt like he did a few things that weren't okay. I feel like, there are elements of things that he does that were not acceptable.
But let's back there for a second, right? And depends on the lenses we use.
Okay. That's right.
For Kasha's parents, he's great, right? From a cultural setup and the lives that they are kind of expected to live, he's perfect. And he does value all of the effort she put in on her career.
Right.
Which is something
fair.
Again, cultural. We also need to keep that in mind, because you did embrace this a lot in a very specific culture.
That is true. Yes.
So with that in mind, he is perfect in that sense.
That is true.
In what he did, and not to go into details because people read that book. But
please read the book.
Read the book.
Hold on. I've got the book.
You have a physical.
We gotta like here's the book, but I got the hardbacks finally. They took forever to come from Ingram. I'm so excited. But yes, read the book anyway. I'm not
Yes,
gonna
please.
hold it the whole
Yes,
time.
that's part of my next book haul detail. But the thing that he does, if we also take a different, we're taking the view on it as in girls standing up for girls, right?
Right.
But on the
Fair.
same side, he is a person who's trying to deal with a lot
Mm-hmm.
in several parts of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Not excusing what he did, but understanding that he also has always that foot kind of back, which is, I still need to make this work.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Because there's always that
I
Your
know.
face.
So I mean, but I don't want him for Kasia. He's great. I don't want him for Kasia.
Right. Possibly
Because there is Rafe.
possibly
If there
someone
was no
else.
Rafe,
There is possibly someone else that
I
it
say
seems.
that where he lands where he needs to be.
Right.
But
Yes.
it's not like,
And see, I loved him because I wrote him and they're my children. So they're
obviously.
broken or
course, yeah.
not, perfect or not, I care about them and love them and want them to
We
have
all have flaws,
their own happy ending.
right?
Just not.
And we all have flaws, or else we couldn't see ourselves in those characters, right? If they were completely amazing, well, then Rafe would not even make sense in that conversation, right?
It's boring, at some point if they're all perfect. Have to be
But
flawed.
you did put him in a position that feels important for the family
Yeah.
with everything that comes. And by the way, there were a couple of moments where I hated you. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You feel your ears like burning.
Mm.
If she didn't,
Yeah.
well, I'm sure she did. There was several people kind of going like, but that's okay. It's neither here nor there. Now, is it? But he did. I mean, from a family perspective, I think he landed where he needed to be.
Correct. Yes.
For
It works out
continuity.
exactly as it's supposed to, or would be the best for everyone involved. Sometimes, and it
Right.
does shine a light on that. Sometimes you may have there seems to be always somebody in our past or somebody that just we fall head over heels for, or that we have a lot of attraction to that we aren't necessarily suited for, and we keep trying to make that be a thing, and it's not supposed to really be a thing.
Yeah.
So,
but again, love him in his lane.
his lane. Agree. Thank you. I like that.
He has
I
his
love that
own
we
lane.
love him in his lane. Some people really hate him
In his
and
lane.
just don't have no love for him at all. And I find that fascinating. It doesn't offend me. I know some authors get upset if you talk negatively, but I'm like, I made them messy. I threw them all together and made them messy on purpose so that you would have opinions about them that would sometimes not be great. And that's okay. That's fun. I like that.
But again, that's how you get the humanity into it, right? Or else it would be.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not life.
I agree 100%.
That's for me a very important story of what you wrote between Rafe and Kasia, because in a perfect world, and even this is a book, but in a perfect world, everything would be easy, there would be nothing. But you wrote them real. So people have concerns in their lives and people have responsibilities in their lives.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, you know what? Let me go. That's not life.
That was a big factor because I didn't want it to go too far into like a possible fan fiction place. I wanted it to feel like a real love story between two characters that were matched well. And normally, I mean, if you have a rock star, how do you match them with something equally important?
The doctor.
Right.
The doctor, right? She has a life. She has a schedule.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, wait, let me go with you forever and ever and to the sunshine.
Right.
I was like,
something she gave 15 years of her life to study. You're not just going to be like,
right?
oh, you're pretty, whatever. Doesn't matter anymore. Like she has
I
to
like
care.
your face. It's so good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I like most people would.
I mean, I
I
would for Noah Sebastian Vessel, yes.
but I
I
don't
would give it my whole life.
yeah. But if I was a doctor and had committed to that, I mean, that's not just a little bit of time from your life
Right.
to do that. And so she had to have something that was, and of course, I work in that field. I work in ophthalmology. So it was easy
Mm.
to connect that anyway. Um, so
Yeah.
it just felt like it. And having had a female doctor that had just joined us, like maybe 6 months prior when I got the idea.
Okay.
And it was nice to see, it's a male dominated field, as retinal specialists. And she was like the only female doctor. I don't know. I think in our pod, which is like half of the state.
Mm.
So it's a really rare thing to be a female retinal specialist. And you almost have to be one of our other doctors. Um, he did like a subspecialty in oncology. So he's very bright. And he called her a genius. So I was like,
Oh,
wow. So she has to be,
That
you
is
have to be on point on top of your fields. And that's another reason why it had to be a reason why she doesn't just fall into it with him and actually kind of rebuffs him at first, because she's like, I have a whole career that will be a joke if this comes out.
exactly.
And she does actually try to, for a little while anyway. Not too long. I have to make it
Not too
kind of
offensive.
realistic. I mean,
I mean, we would all fall head over heels, let's be honest.
right.
We
Yeah.
would find a way to justify giving up 15 years. But but you also gave a very specific cultural setting,
Yes.
which has even more feeling of the family part, right? Of that
Yes.
connection of their community. So that makes it even harder for her.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's so my author name is my parents' name. So both my parents are gone. So DM is my mother's initials, Randall is my dad's name. But my family name on my parent is a Polish name. So
Oh,
that's
knew there had to
yeah.
be Polish there because too good. It was too specific and too good.
Yeah.
Mm,
So that was a big reason why and it felt like, because I know this seems, everybody talks about how warm it feels when they read the book, like you become part of this clan of family and
uh,
all the different ways,
yeah, but
you
it's messy
know,
as hell.
yeah. And our big brother, and our little sister, and I'm trying, all those connections in the family, and Mama and Tasha, and that's because it was kind of like, because other than my sister, most of my family are passed away. So it was kind of like I got to go and live and be back in that, going back home to my grandparents or to my parents' house, and like live and be there with all the different personalities, being from all these
Loud.
different, their opinions. Someone has something to say, like Tasha having something to say about, oh, he's got all this metal in his face. What is this? You're just,
So good, by the way. Love that.
yeah,
Love all of those moments. Like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Just it was just, it felt real because it felt like living through them again, those people then in my life that were like that, even trying to be supportive, and like Mama and Tata, when they talk about them and then when they meet them, they're having a different kind of reaction, obviously.
yeah.
They flip,
Mhm.
they get charmed. So
It's but it's not like at a first moment, right? They
right.
do take their little bit of
And then not always.
"Mm,"
And then not forever. So yeah. Yeah.
but it is a good dynamic. And I did kind of think there had to be a source, right? Because
Yeah.
it's the portrayal is very specific, right? It's not, oh, and they drank vodka and ate pierogi. And then you're like,
Right. There's a little of that. I like when she
you know what
she
I mean?
she makes a joke.
There needs to be a lot.
Yeah, she makes a joke about that, like, I think with Dominic, like, if you tell me you're gonna make me pierogies, I will laugh at you. Like, just she just no, I refuse. But also I had on my mother's side is the Polish family, and then um I went, because after my mom passed away, I went to Poland, uh,
Oh,
because for all by myself, I had a friend. I was living in the UK because I've lived in England for about 19 years, and I was living over in the
oh,
UK, And my friend from Poland, who I met working in ophthalmology, she was going home before she was going on. She was doing her degree in tourism, and she was going to China to work in China. So, and we went to Korea as well in between that. But when I went to Poland, she was busy. She was seeing her family. So I went over there for 10 days just by myself, walking around, investigating Poland, because my mother never went. And I was like, well, I'm going to go to the motherland because she never got to go. And the things, there's an anecdote in it which doesn't spoil anything, where she says, like, if you go out on the street, it's quiet. And it was like, I would make videos recording to send back to people. I'm like, there's no talking, but as soon as you go into a shop, it's that loud, boisterous, whatever. And I made up a reason, obviously, why they do that. I don't know why. I asked Dominique, and she's like, I've never noticed that before. It's like, well, I did, because it's obviously, I haven't lived here before. But I was like, we don't tell our business on the street, that's why we don't talk out on the street. But it was so yeah, there's parts of it not only are culturally from my upbringing and my family, and things that came down the pipeline of, even though we were second and third generation, the food that you eat and the things that you talk about and the way that you are, but going there, being in Poland and experiencing it, and having a very close friend that was Polish, it
So
all
even
shaped
more,
it for sure, 100%.
even more exposure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, I want you to experience it. A lot of people said, and I don't know, it just seemed natural to me. I don't know. I didn't really plan it. It was just because I'm a pantser, the way I write. I go into the world, I come up with a scene, and then from that
There you
scene,
go.
it goes from there. So I hadn't really conceived of where we were going with this. It was just, oh, well, this is like, if he looks at her name badge, he looks at her coat and he's trying to say her name. I'm like, well, that's her name. It just was her name. And then from there, I'm like, oh no. Well, now we have to, now we have to write this whole family and everything. And that's where we are. That's where we are. Someone said something to me about an outline, about submitting to a trad publisher or something, and said, I need to outline. I'm like, I can't make up what I don't know.
Like,
Until we get there, we'll find out. I guess we'll find out, we'll get in that world. But I think that answered one of the questions, which was, how did we get there? Like, how did we get inspired by, like, what started to, start the,
I promise I'll
yeah.
eventually, just having too much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. And that's
I'm
one of
not
the
even
ones is just,
looking at them. I'm not
It's like,
even looking at them. I just
no,
like,
totally.
yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying so much this this whole conversation. I'm not even looking. Like,
left in it.
I am drinking everything you say. Like,
Right?
come on. Yeah, yeah.
Like, thanks.
Okay.
We don't
Please go on, go on. Like, I'm not.
tell us everything. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
it's fun. But again, there was one thing you did in this book, and I've already told you this.
mm-hmm.
But why?
Oh no. Ah.
Why?
Oh no.
But that was so painful.
Oh no. So don't watch this part if you don't want spoilers. Oh gosh. Is a rough one. I sobbed so much writing all of it.
And we did reading,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Like,
Mm.
it was,
I think I also pinged you about that, if I'm not mistaken. It was more like a bit of live reactions, right? It's like, oh my God,
yeah, I like the sobbing, it was, so if you start, the start of the book, it starts with Tasha going on this adventure. Basically, she loves rock. She loves rock music, but she's younger, and Peter is her older brother, and he's taking her reluctantly as sort of like a cover, really, to go hook up with these girls.
Like, really?
Yeah, he's like, you got 5 minutes, and then I'm leaving. And he takes her, and he lets her wear his jacket, and from that moment, I was like, something about this jacket. There's something about this as the symbol. And when I knew that what was going to happen with the stalker, because I did want that as an element, because of Sleep Token, because at the time the tour was going on, and there was a point where one of the crowd surfers got all the way to the front and got very close to him and tried to get up in his face, and he just kept singing right away. But she was really close, and then from that point on in the tour, she was doing all this in his face, and he was just like, la la la. And from that point on in the tour, he had his security guy with him the rest of the tour, like right there. And he made a joke of it. Like he put him between his legs and like rubbed on him and, made it funny. But I was like, he's clearly afraid. Like he brought his church, like him right there, like to be next to him. And so I knew there was going to be this element of that crossing over into fear of, safety and life. And so we knew that was going to happen.
It's not all.
Right. Yeah. And so I wanted that to be a factor. And so then I knew that they would also knowing this is the great thing when you know your characters, knowing what kind of family she comes from, the protection of that family is number one. So it's like, we've got to protect them because she's incredibly stubborn. And
No.
yeah, she's a little bit stubborn. And also she's very self-sacrificing. As a doctor, in many ways you have to be. And then also for her family, she's very self-sacrificing. So how are we going to, and because her big brother is such a big part of her life and is such a stabilizing factor, with him there, she's never reaching out. She's never.
I know. It makes sense, but
I know. And listen, my husband actually had to stop me when I was writing the scene where she's talking to him, because I'm just like sitting here.
Your fist. Thank you.
He was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just hurting myself. I'm so clearly."
Let me whip myself a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, it was rough. It was rough. And I mean, I love his character so much. He's again flawed. I mean, he consistently, I mean, some people really hated him. I mean, at first, at the end, almost no one hates him, but some people really hated him because he tries to push Dominic and Kasha together. And
I think again, cultural view and, because that always makes sense in that context.
Right. And he's trying to, it's almost like that brotherly way of trying to make sure she's taken care of, that she doesn't live a lonely life, that she has a family of her own. He doesn't want her to be alone. And, he knows Dominic is a decent.
Yeah, for him, right? If you think about it from Beatrice's perspective, she is a bit of an outlier, right? With her age, with her life, she's alone. It's a concern for them that she has nothing, that they consider to be required.
Right, exactly.
Right, for make sure that she's happy, safe, all of that. So for them, it's like, here's Dominic.
There he is. Ta-da! Yeah. Good job.
He's part of the family. It all makes sense.
Yeah. And so I didn't really ever see him as a negative by trying to encourage that. And then like, he doesn't want her to just do whatever fits the family when he sees her so miserable. I mean, he says to her at the end, if this is what's happening, if you're just going to be sad, just, do what you got to do and go be with him. I'll support you, and she's like, "Oh, you say that now because you're drunk or whatever." But he's like, I mean it, he is the rebel in the family, right? He's the one that smokes and drinks and has the jack, but then he gets settled, right? Aga settles him, and
self in here. Time to smokes or drinks. Yay! He goes to concerts. like, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Like, I'm not a
No, that's all right.
no, like, I'm not.
That's okay. But yeah, we are
Yeah,
big fans. We're big fans of him. It's just and it
yeah,
also brought things back to reality in a way because it's so Rafe's world is so big and hers is so small in a way, even though she's a doctor, hers is so the
contained.
community and the small town family feeling, even though it's Seattle, it's not really a small town, but it feels very small because it's within that
Yeah,
community of the Polish Catholic community, right? And there was no way for them to, they needed
yeah.
something that would bring them together. Something is making you happy and it's not hurting someone else. That's an important fact. But, if something's
Then
making you happy and there's no time is of the essence. You might as well just go for it and live your life and to grab it with both hands if it's something. I mean, especially if it's Ray Fashion. I'm just gonna say
uh,
right.
two hands, 2 feet, my legs.
Right.
Allow me to explain.
Everything
Like,
just lock in like a koala.
oh,
Just
correct.
look. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. It brought it down to earth, which is that there's no. You can be a superstar, you can be a rock star, you can be a doctor, you can do all the things right. You might as well just live
Come
your life. And I had a reader come to me and sort of say that it made them actually two now. Um, that it made them like, well, I deserve love and I deserve to live a life that makes me
Yeah,
happy and um I was like, I
that's
never
good.
thought it would actually inspire that, like it does have
See it
that
that way.
message, but in a real practical way, I was like, that's amazing. Like that means so much to me that you would live your life fuller, realizing that, it's short and it doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to. And, because it's such a
Yeah.
fanciful story in a lot of ways. They do have flaws and they have things that come up and mistakes that happen and different love interests that try to get in the way.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Friend,
So, you know,
friend.
mm,
That's all I have to say.
what is the opinion of Rithi? Because Rithi is, see, I love that face. I love that face. It's just like, I don't know.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I
Right.
mean, if you think about it, they're together, like, not 24/7, but it's a long time, right? And they are best friends, like, since forever.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels that that love grew
Right.
through time from Raythe's side,
Yeah.
mind you. Whilst on the other side, it was just loneliness, kind of, for those moments, those brief
I
moments.
mean, there is definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, there's this, I mean, they know each other, and you find out in book 2 their backstory, like how they meet in high school and what they become, and Kiri and Rafe really are champions of Rithi, who gets sort of bullied and mistreated because of how he presents, which becomes part of his persona later, which he rocks it. But like at that point, when you're in those kind of situations, it's not, you need to fit in more, and he doesn't fit in. Rithi is a very bold character. And so there is definitely a not insta love because Rafe is a lovable person, but like an insta, like when he takes up for him, sort of like this instant, connection. And
Yeah.
that he always kind of puts him a little bit on this pedestal, but his personality is too sharp, I guess, to make it obvious. Sharp
Sure.
is a good way to describe it. Uh, so it comes across as, not necessarily acting like that all the time, but he has my heart because I think
He's been through a lot.
he's been through a lot, and he obviously would there have been a place and a time for them to have been something? Yes.
Hmm.
But
Really?
they would have had to
Mm,
have actually been way more mature than either of them were
exactly.
at the time
Mm,
to deal with that.
yeah.
So
Mm. I think that on Rafe's side, it's I wouldn't say brotherly love because it's more than that, and
Right.
there are
Yeah.
descriptions, moments, but it's moments in time. It's
Yeah.
not a thing that goes on, right? It's specific moments, again, loneliness, weariness, whatever we wanna call it, right? That his defenses kind of fall and,
Right. And
there's always something
then they also
so
both, because they don't, if you think about their personalities,
Mm.
they are not, they're again another setup with like Dominic and Kasha. They don't work because of the kind of, they both need stabilizing people because they're both up in the air, you know what I mean? And so they need someone to ground them. Kasha being a very stable-minded person, very pragmatic person. Similarly with her and Rafe, that she would be that sort of, if plans need to be done, she would be the one that would do them. And it's the same with Rithi and Rafe. If they're so poetic and charged as
Yeah.
people that they would, if it crashed and burned,
Lost.
they're going to ruin the band,
Yeah.
basically. And I think they're both too afraid to do that,
Mm.
to cross that line, because
A lot of like, yeah.
right.
Well, Reese toes that line a little bit. Toes that line.
Yeah.
It let me there was the level of sass
Yeah.
and,
Sass is
bitchiness.
he is very sassy. He is very
I was like,
sassy.
I quickly understood what was going there just from the oh, hello.
Yes.
I see where you're coming from.
He put some
Mm.
claws out, definitely, with Kasha.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she doesn't necessarily obviously deserve that. But he hasn't
No.
crossed, nobody's gone to therapy. Nobody's gone to therapy.
Nobody's
Uh,
gone to therapy. Let's be honest. Rafe also has his own mommy and daddy issues, huh?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, he does.
Again,
He definitely
I'll do
does.
a couple for I'll take him with me wherever he needs to go. That's fine.
Right.
I'll take care of it.
We'll get him taken care of. Like it's
But it's a lot of issues there.
right. Well, like, and Rithi even points out the mommy and daddy issues. Like he does in not a nice way.
Someone claws, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. But he's trying, like, he does tell him, like, I'm trying to, he's not wrong at first when he's trying to judge what's happening with Kasha, where he's like, you need to be with someone that understands what you do. But
He's not
it,
wrong.
yeah, he's,
The amount of times he feels the need to say that and convey that message.
it's not a healthy way.
No subtlety.
It's not,
No subtlety
it's
there.
not a way to benefit him at the time. No, he's already upset. But I do, the moment when he breaks everything, that's like one of my favorite moments, because Rithi proves the depth of his love, because he doesn't, that's the perfect time to twist a knife and say,
Yeah.
I told you so, this was a bad idea, whatever. And all he does is say, she'll come back, it'll be okay, and takes care of him, and, and helps him with, so I'm like,
The moment the Dean Winchester meme.
yeah, like the love is there. The love is definitely there, even if he's jealous, even if he didn't know how to handle it very well. When he really sees him in pain, it's there
He
when it's needed.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, I love it. I love
the
him all,
level
but
oh, fair enough, and I like him too. It's just the level of sass that came through. I was like,
the level of sass,
Lord.
I love his sass, and his sass is definitely going to be useful in book 2 and 3, because
Oh, he will need his match too.
we're
He will
gonna
need his
enjoy.
match in book 2.
Yes. Right. I'm sorry. I continue to just ask you questions. What did you like?
You know the questions. You know the questions Threw them out the window. I just want this. Yes. Here.
This is perfect.
I will ask the rapid fire though, because those
Yes.
I like to see people squirm.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, not sorry. I will ask now, but then we go back to book 2 because okay. Let's pretend like we're doing very seriously.
We're doing this break. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Coffee or chaos?
Oh, let me get these. We are chaos. I like chaos.
You're chaos. That's yeah.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, but that's exactly why you fit very well here. Fate or coincidence?
Oh,
Hmm.
coincidence. That's really the fun stuff, honestly. That's the fun stuff. We can make a lot out of that.
Obsession or love?
Mm.
I'll book 1.
Ooh. That is a hard one because I feel like they are very closely connected. I mean, love ultimately, but they're very close bedfellows. Yeah. They're very rarely separated, honestly. But yeah, in my world anyway. But I don't know about others. But
we're in your world and we love it.
Then both. You. I'm picking both.
Okay, pick both. Lyrics or silence?
Lyrics. Absolutely. Obviously.
Mask on or mask off?
I mean,
you choose the. I'm done either way.
We hardly talk. I mean, honestly, I made the ribbon altar have veils because I wanted them to have the concept of being masked, but not limited, like limited. Yeah. So it's and it becomes a non-issue at some point anyway because they get exposed primarily with that video and everything. But like mask, off because he has such a nice face in my mind, you know. So they're fine either way, honestly. But
sometimes not fun. Sometimes I don't.
I mean, yeah, he would have the veil in the ensemble, as it were. Yeah, maybe.
You know.
But yeah, let's keep it nearby. Keep it nearby.
You always keep it in hand. Exactly. First glance or slow burn?
Slow burn. 100%. I'm a slow burn girly. I'm a slow burn. And it frustrates a lot of people, but
don't we know it?
I'm so sorry, but you know.
Sorry, because I love the suffering of it.
I mean, was it not worth it? The wait? I mean,
it was. Allow me to explain. It was. It was,
I'm
and I want more race.
I'm glad that makes me happy. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I get lots of those messages in caps lock when people are ARC or beta or whatever. They're just like, "We're at page whatever," and it's, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
I did not. So I think we are in the street team group, but when you started using the boxes, I was like, I already had read the book, and I was like, I'm not going in. Let it be. Let me stay here in my little corner, just watching. Because I was like, no, because I don't want to give out spoilers. It's one of those most no. I'll just watch it burn.
I know it's so hard in the group with the gift boxes, and I have one of the street team, Jessie, and she calls it Christmas. She loves spoiling herself. She loves opening all the boxes. I'm like, no, you're not supposed to open them. That's where they're at. But you know, yeah, it's a hard one. You could either ban it completely, but then everybody wants to talk at the same time.
Everyone will talk.
Yeah, you know,
I think it's a good idea box so that if you want to spoil, you spoil, but you know what you're doing.
Right, you know that's behind the curtain.
You know, there.
Right, exactly.
I was really enjoying the moment of I already read. I'm just looking. Exactly.
Yeah,
That is me.
we know.
That is
We know all the things.
I was
But
like,
but yeah, slow burn.
fighting.
Slow burn is my and I struggle to
Alright,
not be slow burn if I write something. I mean, Dominic and Kasha aren't super slow burn. I mean, I think they're before chapter 20, which isn't
yep, relationship because it's been there for
right.
growing in the background's been there for a
They've
while.
known each other since they were kids, so
There's always been that little
right. You know,
poke,
feel
from both sides.
feel
It was always like, "It's hot." It's
right.
that song from, Sabrina Carpenter, "Where did you get hot?" Because she was like,
I really loved the baptism of vodka. I found that so much fun because I like mixing sexy things with funny things and people being genuinely human in those moments, not just like hot and just saying hot, gravelly things, but also like when he dotes her with
"It's how
like
it
a
is."
vodka cross and stuff. Like I love
Sure.
that stuff. I love being silly in the midst of being sexy. I mean, that's why I love him. Those are some of the things that I like about him. He's all right. It was a good time.
Again, in his lane. In his lane.
Okay.
Just saying. Alright, now, dream him or real him?
Real him, actually. Yeah. I think he's definitely a like Obelisk is a different creation, but the person that you get to know in the actual book is always real him.
Yeah.
And he's adorable. So real him.
Rafe is adorable. Obelisk is sexy as hell.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct.
Like,
You know,
you drool for right? You drool for him, and then you fall in love with Rafe.
right.
It's the different thing.
Exactly. And then
'Cause
like I think and now we're doing the audiobook, which comes out in November. And
What?
yes, oh, we have we have so many things. And hearing his voice come to life through Patrick and Kasha's voice come to life through Bree has been wild. But just hearing things said out loud like "Good night, Kasha" and stuff like that, it's just like
How good is the voice?
and I quit.
Wait. How good is the voice? I need proof
Oh,
of that.
it's very good. I'll send you links. I will send you. Hold on, wait a second.
Please. Mm.
Oh, he actually on release day, him and Bree surprised me. They recorded the line where Rafe says, they say the gods mark us by what we we can't look away from. And they made that little voice note and then made a video out of it on release day to surprise me. It was so sweet. It was so kind. But yeah, I'll send you, I'm just looking at it right now. Hold on. I made a couple,
I mean, that's for a friend. It's always for a friend, and it's always me.
but it's very, Patrick has a great voice, and that was a big thing for me because don't, I feel like sometimes when someone tries to be a lot of the narration at the minute can be like overly gravelly or almost kind of almost porn star level. Like I just needed him to sound because Rafe is not
Or like,
he's charming and he's
and sings, so it's not like he's always like
right,
this. He
exactly.
sings.
And and Patrick can sing. So there is a concept that he's going to do a few of the lyrical aspects and sing them in some point. So like yeah, we're very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. But yes, he actually asked me, he was like, one morning he had kind of like a little bit of a gravelly throat and he was like, actually give me some lyrics that you want me to try to sing, because when I'm feeling like that I might record it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hold my beer. Here it is. Very
I
good.
got plenty of
Oddly enough, I
lyrics
had
I can let me hold on, let me see. This application process. Let me see. I can send it to you now. Where's the ink? There we go. So I'm sending that to you. And then there's another one.
Our
There we go.
evenings just got a whole lot better.
I'm, I'm,
Oddly enough, I'm putting my headset on straight.
I'm I just sent you several things so you can. Oh, you should
thanks.
listen. You should listen right this minute. Actually, you should listen to the second one I sent you because
Okay.
it's an interesting beginning, and you'll get the vibe
Lord.
straight away.
The second one?
Yeah, the second one
What?
with
Oh,
the
Lord.
sparkles.
Sold. 2 seconds. Fucking sold.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's gonna be. Okay.
You did
Okay.
well.
Where do I
I
sign?
need an opening line. Like you did well. You did
Where-
well.
Where do you need me to sign to buy what? How? When?
So we're
When?
having dual narration because I was like, I can't imagine any other way
Oh.
to do that, especially like
Thanks.
their phone call conversations and the way they get to know each other.
If I do the same person, like
Yeah, I can't get on board. I can't do it. I can't get on board with that. So I'm very, very happy about it. So that'll be in November that they'll have that done. So we get to listen to Rafe and Kasha. I'm loving it.
I can see some posts from here. I don't know why. Post. I'm listening.
I've got my little Halloween blanket here. I'm sorry. I'm like a grandma. Got my legs covered over here. But yeah, let me stop because we got off on the real hymn and then it just carried on. So we carry on.
I'm fine. Okay. No, let's stay hidden or be seen.
That's tough because
I know.
I think Rafe, obviously, because he is modeled a lot after Vessel, sees a lot of value in having his own private life. So it depends on who we're talking about. Stay hidden from the general populace, be seen obviously by the person that loves him. But you know, he's not. He likes being a performer, but he does not like it interacting with his real life. Yeah, he doesn't want that because there is this kind of, as much as I love all these celebrities that I love K-pop, I love rock music, and I love all these characters that they play because that often isn't them, just like Obelisk isn't really Rafe. But like a lot of people don't have a healthy dividing line between that and who they really are, and kind of cross those lines sometimes. So I'm in favor of him staying hidden in some ways because you got to keep your sanity. If you have these kinds of careers, you need to feel like you are still a person, and being able to inhabit it did help me. It did actually change my opinion. I used to think
On Vessel?
before I inhabited the character, I used to sort of be like, well, you knew what you signed up for. You signed up for this life. You knew you were going to be famous. You knew you were going to have this sort of thing. But it's a far cry from, not just like when they have their disagreement and then he's on the plane and then it's the fan that's there like, hi, I really like you. He's just like, yeah, I got it. And she's like, but I really like you. And he's like, listen, you're not allowed to have your
Quiet time.
right.
Your person.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be a person. You're not allowed to have a bad day or a bad morning or just feel. And if you are, it gets all over the news that you're just this jerk that, you know, is ungrateful for your fans or whatever. And so I was like, you know, living in his skin, it felt like, oh, this makes so much more sense. The thing that the artist gives us is the music and the inspiration and the way we can relate and ways of like catharsis to getting things out. But they don't owe
But
us
not their life.
them. They don't owe us who they are. They don't owe us being on point all the time. They're not an actor, they're not an actress, they're an artist. They wrote music, they perform, and that's the exchange. And I didn't used to feel that way. So it did change me. I didn't just me and the book had a whole experience together. So yeah, but I agree.
It's like a
Stay
understand
hidden.
vessel.
Stay hidden. That's my vote.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know there's a book 2 coming out
Okay.
eventually.
Because we know.
Because we know. Because we will be hounding you until we see that book details.
Right.
On the art team.
And the art team.
Just like when is
I
it?
might have
Is it
requested
time
that.
yet? Yeah.
I was like, I might have already requested that.
We can. Well, let us talk about the next book. Let us ask these questions then, because yes, and so this is Spoilerland. The Carrie and Natalia are book 2, and we will.
And we're so cute.
Want to talk about them?
Let's think about, so if we think about like short questions in the sense of like rapid fire, but with those 2 in mind.
Yes.
Our beloved Natalia, a little firecracker.
Oh, she is. I love her. She's so much fun.
Shadow or spotlight?
That wasn't even, I mean, a question.
Protector or danger?
Protector.
Yeah, he tries. Softer heart or sharper edges?
Softer heart. 100%. Yeah.
Loyal or unpredictable?
It depends on which one we're talking about. They're both loyal, though. I have to say they're both very loyal. They are, but also unpredictable. I think Carrie would be the more loyal one, and in the traditional sense, and less unpredictable, whereas Natalia is very unpredictable, but she has that strong family tie. So if she's for you, she's for you. Like, yeah.
That's like only tethered to reality.
Yeah.
As we know it. Because if she could, she'll be out of there.
She will end you in with her words instantly. But anyway, yeah. So I would say loyal overall. Loyal. I'll go with that.
Silence or confession?
Silence. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of denial of feelings in this one for a minute, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Or 2. Hidden past or buried truth?
Hidden past. There's some interesting things going to come out. Yeah.
Watcher or participant?
Oh, participant. Out of these 2, for sure, all in on all kinds of things. Yes, participant.
That.
Yeah.
Safe hands or reckless touch?
Oh. That is well, oh goodness.
Reminder, you can say both.
I mean, we can say both. I would say definitely, probably both, but like they're both very passionate, but ultimately they're both caregiving people. That doesn't seem that obvious on the surface, but it will come to light. So I would say both. They're going to be both for sure. I was deciding if we should just say reckless touch, but they're both. They're both.
I think they will both do both. Truth or illusion?
Truth. Yeah.
Closer than he seems or further away?
Closer than he seems. Yeah.
Break hearts or save them?
If it's anyone other than Natalia, he's a bit of a heartbreaker. That is kind of his reputation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 99% break hearts and 1% save them. So, yeah.
That
Someone is playing
1%,
music
that
super
moment.
loud down here. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Him or the idea of him?
Him, because the idea of him is not great. Like, he's kind of got this reputation for being a bit of a rake, like a, that's kind of his personality. But it's unfair. Like, he has this idea is that he is sexually promiscuous, which who wouldn't be if you're a rock star like that? I mean,
It's all available.
thank you. So, like, he puts it out there as far as like what he is, but who he really is on the inside, if someone gets to him, is a lot different. So him, not the idea of him. Him. I like
You
him.
also run very quickly when it become real with other ladies.
Yeah.
As soon as it's being on the surface, like, nope, I'm out. But
Yeah.
someone's gonna learn a hard truth for sure as well. I have a feeling.
Absolutely. And they do have he is used to being a protective, but you don't know it until you get into book 2, but he's just used to being a protective bigger brother. And there is a space in this life that is missing in this person because of things that happened in book 1 that he kind of reminds her of someone. So things that you don't see in him that don't really apply to anybody else but her. So it's kind of a nice idea of how.
Patience for book 2.
Yeah.
Well, I'm what do you mean stay tuned? I'm already tuned. I'm like, yes. And then and
I
details.
do have like 93 pages of it already like edited, and then we have I have it mainly written, I just have to edit it. So we're not far. We have plans. So the layout is that we have because me and Kit Fiona, I'm sure you guys have seen me talk about her all the time. So me and Kit, she is basically my editor and one of my, dev editors, and I do the same for her. So we've planned out our whole calendar so that we don't overlap, because it's very stressful to release at the same time. We did that kind of with this. We were overlapping with our arcs and our releases. Yeah, we were very close. So we've planned it out. And so she releases in July for her second book. And so my arcs I'll be beta reading in June. I'll have my beta readers if you want to be beta readers, obviously, if you want to do that, or you can be arc readers. And then June will be beta, July will be arcs after her book comes out, and then August is the release date. So we have a plan.
So July. That's what I mean. It's July, and then put it on the card for August.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. But a little birdie told me. A little birdie
I
just
love that.
told me,
That's right.
that someone is a busy, busy girl.
Yes. Very busy. I stay very busy.
So I hear, I know we won't go into details because, well, people got to keep their eyes open and look at Instagram.
Right.
But I heard that something else that is not Riven Altar related is coming. Am I right
Yes.
in my assumptions?
Yes, I am currently. I actually have another story that I'm writing, which is we're 11 chapters into that story now, because I think you got 6 chapters of it originally. But we have something that I normally haven't done before, which is fantasy slash. It's considered romantasy because he is a fae, but he is a morally black fae. He's not gray. He is very self.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yes. Yes.
He's
Sign me up because it's like there was no shades of gray. That shit was black. And I'm like, the
no.
I Betty, I was like, Betty, read this.
I'm
Read it.
glad that we are on board with it because I was like, it's so very different from everybody talks about what a green flag rape is. And I'm like, it's like almost, I didn't plan that, but it's like, could I go from one end of the spectrum to the other, just all the way over here? And I can, apparently. It was fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, he is morally black, but it's really, if you see it from his perspective, he's not of this world. So like, why would his values be the same? I mean, it doesn't make any sense if they would be. I mean, so he's out one night and he sees something that piques his interest, and
Mhm.
and then
No,
he gets interested in that, and then just carries on. And he does. I wanted it to be. I love the '80s, so I wanted to. I wanted to make it very 80s. I love the aesthetic of the 80s. I also love something I hadn't really touched on, even though Tasha is a little bit like that, as being as a female doctor and having Conrad as her, like, but like the female rage a little bit, from, especially because the 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 boss, she has a boss in this book that is a little condescending occasionally, and she has a lot of stuff on her shoulders, and just having, and it was more prevalent. I mean, a lot of people, we have a lot of change, but in the 80s, just in the movies, if you look at the movies back then, just the way men felt free to talk to women or treat them, if they, like, oh, just with your little heart, you just can't think, can you? It's your time of the month or something, isn't it? Like, you bless your heart. And like, that's much more something that, especially in her situation, she has to deal with, because she's kind of, again, family is important in this story, but in a very different way, a very, very different way. Um, and I wanted to touch on that, the things that were important in the '80s, the different social issues, also the difference between, like, the rockers, and then the preppies, the cocaine, the cocaine courage at the time, and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, I wanted to explore all the things from the '80s, and the music, and the cultural things, and just the vibe. I mean, and it started because I saw it was a post someone made, and it was the old Pizza Hut back in the day from the '80s, and it was the old Pizza Hut. And of course, in America, we had like uh, the book club. You could read so many books, and they'd give you a personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut, and you could go have it. It's a big thing for people that are my age. I'm 44, and so, like, not youngsters, youngs.
83 works.
We're
I still I told you, is like, I'm still going to that first concert. I don't care.
right, exactly. I mean, I went to go see Bad Omens the other week. Yeah. I'm
Let's not
sorry.
discuss
I'm
that,
sorry.
okay? Because they're not coming yet to our section, our neck of the woods, and I'm like, but
But
why?
why? I don't understand. I mean, the Red Altar goes all over. They do world tours. I don't understand why. It doesn't seem right. I mean,
I need to know it, dude. Pit stop. I just need one night here. It's a pit stop. That's fine. Do an acoustic. Don't set up. I don't care. It's okay. It's fine.
Why? Listen, why on earth? But no, I mean, it's one of those things. I used to deal with that because I was over in the UK, and they just wouldn't come over, or they just go to like one stop at London, like
Uh-huh.
freaking
Yeah.
Really
Wembley.
hard to get.
But I hope for you
Yeah.
guys that they will be there soon. They will be there.
We're
Fingers
just
crossed.
hoping, right? Hoping, and I've been seeing a lot on the interwebs that maybe Sleep Token will be announcing something soon. So I'm like, please, please be a
Oh, no.
European tour.
And that was a big deal because Louder Than Life, they were Louder Than Life a couple years before, and that's
Yeah.
what really kind of inspired this. Is they had the new album come out, and then I knew I would always go to Louder Than Life anyway, me and my husband and some friends. I was like, well, I know they're going to be there, and they were there a couple years ago, but they were on a far stage, and it's so big, I didn't go there, and I felt so stupid for not going over there. That after years later, I was like, that was the dumbest thing I ever did. But then I listened to the new album and was like, oh, this is really good, this is really great, and then I was like obsessed. And I don't know why everybody said at the time when they came out with Louder Than Life and the UK stuff that they were going to add more European tour things. They just never did, and now it's over. When did it end? It must have ended like October of last year,
Something.
something like that.
Yeah.
So
And they've been beep, quiet.
he does value his private
So
time. He does value his private life.
we're okay with that. That's fine. Just please add some stops in Europe. That's okay.
Just a
I
couple.
can wait a year, but can you
Then we can just
this
go
side now?
just one thing. I know. Well, I guess they assumed England was enough. We went to what was it?
Download.
Can't remember what it
Was
was.
download.
That's it.
That
Download. Yeah,
was
they went to down. They
that
did
was the
download. They're like, that's it.
I saw names and I was like, why? No one. They just stayed there. They did not continue down. And I was like, it's a flight. It's 2 hours away. 2:30.
No, I know. So fingers crossed for you guys that you're gonna get it. But and going to the
Fingers
80s, I
crossed.
love music, and I want everything that I do to be associated with music. So we start this book with the 80s, and he's in a rock club, and then the whole playlist is 80s. 80s music is.
I loved your
Love it.
playlist. You have some of my favorite, more on the ballads side, but some of my favorite ballads. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It's I just love the music from that. It's been such a fun time, and it's kind of like, I guess, if the Labyrinth, and because
Mhm.
I don't know how many people that will be listening to this would be in this age range that would know about the Labyrinth, but like for me personally, that was probably my first ever experience of a dark romance, because as a kid, I didn't understand why she was running away from the Goblin King. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you saving your brother? He literally will give you
Okay.
everything. He put you in a pretty dress. You're dancing. He's singing at you. What are you doing? I just, that was for me.
I think people born in the 80s, we all have a lot of traumas because of the movies we saw as children. Like Never Ending Story.
Oh my God.
For
Yeah.
instance,
The Atreyu. Oh no. The
you know what I
horror.
mean? It's like if you think about the movies we watched as because we were still
Yeah.
kids, right?
Oh yeah. This crazy stuff. And I didn't even think about it then. She's like 16 in the Labyrinth.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's
Yeah.
insanity. And then at the time, you're just like, oh, it's such a wild time. And especially because Bowie was just a rock star in and of himself. And so it was just I don't know who we would get to do it now. Who could you possibly get? It's one of those things I don't think we could ever recast it or refill the shoes. It would just never work the
And
same.
don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas because then it's a totally different version that comes out. And all
Yeah.
of our
No, we don't
generation will be
need.
like, why? Why?
Why? We don't need those.
No.
We don't need any of that nonsense.
Let's keep the original, right? And love it. And it was Bowie, so very specific, right? There was no way to capture that again.
No,
And let's not have them try.
it's never.
We know what happened when they tried to recast stuff, right?
It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well.
Mm,
No. So we'll just leave
so
it alone. But the book has that vibe, and that Jareth, although an endearing character, although very morally black, uh, it's the same vibe. Adon has the same vibe as Jera.
And from a time perspective, for the people listening,
Mhm.
for me, when can we expect that to be available?
S Say that again for me, I couldn't hear you.
When can we expect our, darker fae to be available?
Oh, well, we're doing a few things. Um, we
Do.
if we are submitting if querying, I don't know if anyone out here in the sphere that listing that would be an indie author, but querying is its own level of hell. It is
Yeah.
horrific. Because there's not a formula. It's not like you just query with one trad publisher and it's a certain way that you do that. Every single agent has a different way they would wish to be queried. So you have
Oh,
to like either give a first chapter or 5,000 words or 20,000 words or half a manuscript, or, and you either have to give a blurb and an introduction, or you have to give a blurb and a
it's a guessing game.
synopsis. And it's just
It's a guessing game. You don't know
you
which one will
yeah,
work. It's like,
it's like you just sign up,
sure,
and you have to find an agent who wants to do the kind of books you're doing. So you have to find the kind that do romantasy and morally gray, which tends to be about everybody right now. So that's kind of why I'm even
yeah,
considering.
you're safe.
Yeah, it's a very popular thing. And so but you have to find an agent that will fit that, and then you have to make all of the situation happen where you fit all of their parameters. And so I'm submitting it just to a fellow author to see, because she has also queried in the past and has connections, and to see if it's worth querying. If it's worth querying, because I don't want to go through all of that if it's still out of the parameters of possibly being successful as querying. So I'm like, but I feel like this has a decent. The introduction is spicy. The end of the first chapter just has you asking a whole bunch of questions. And that's kind of where you're supposed to be when you query. So we're going to find out if it doesn't if we don't query, then possibly um, September would be, because we'll have Kiri and Natalia that would come out in August. I would do arcs the month before that, like for this one, and then maybe September time we would get write it down. Write it down. So if we're querying, then it'll be up to the hands of the trad gods, but we'll find out. But if I am inclined to indie publish, I prefer having like creative control. One thing was brought up to me the other day, which was that a certain agent or publisher prefers outlining and submitting the outlines before you write, because they like to developmental edit with you. And I was like, well, I don't really outline. I just go and live in this world. I don't really write like that. So, there's stop gaps in between whether it may even ever do that and I would ever want to try to publish. But it depends on, I mean, Daggermouth, they got like a
Yeah.
$12 million deal or something crazy like that. It was insane. So, there's not a whole lot I wouldn't do.
Right?
For
We
$12
never
million.
know. We never know, honey.
But I mean, it's not even in that stratosphere or anything stupid like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could outline if I had to, if that's the
Exactly.
requirement.
12 million.
Yeah, I
Would
could
you
do it. I guess
outline?
I could.
Hell yes.
That's a lot of money.
Hell yes. In gold. I would outline in gold
I mean,
million. Like,
for real. Have you guys read Daggermouth?
it's on my TBR, and I've been
Oh,
looking at
no.
it. Other things to go through before that were like,
I mean, with arcs and releases and stuff, you've got to get it out at the certain timeline, right? So, but yeah, it's one of those things. We'll see where it goes. I am very reluctant to give my babies to somebody else now that I know what it feels like to not have to. That's a hard line because I'm sure, I mean, that was one big reason why I did Riven as an indie and didn't query. I did one round of queries, but I knew immediately when they saw the word count that they would reject me, because the word count has to stay with it. So if you do trad publishing, your word count is really, unless you're doing epic fantasy, your word count is not supposed to exceed more than like 80 to 90,000, and Riven's 158,000.
I was thinking,
So
As a bit,
yeah,
not within those parameters, as far as I
no,
recall.
no, listen. But I do appreciate that the first reaction is, when is the second book, when you guys read such a thick book? Because that was a big fear of mine. Like, people are going to be like, oh my God, that was like running an absolute marathon. I don't even want to think about that book for at least 60 business days because it's so big.
No,
So, but I love that. So thank you so much. And one of the biggest honors of my life, one of my street team yesterday got a tattoo of words from Riven.
ooh,
So
nice.
yes, it's when he says to Kasha, um, we're still under the same sky, but it feels smaller without you to share it, and got that
I
tattooed.
know.
So that's like, I feel like I made it as an author forever now that somebody tattooed something that I wrote on their body. So that's,
Pomegranates yet?
pomegranate. See, everybody's talking about pomegranates. People are talking about plushy pomegranates. People are talking about knitted pomegranates.
I'm just waiting for something to appear with a pomegranate. Like,
Right? Yeah,
yeah,
the pomegranates are a thing. Yeah, definitely. And we're making shirts because everybody asked for shirts. So I got to guess. Everybody was asking for the Ribbon Ultra shirts, like band T-shirts. So
okay. I'm just going to ask this once. Please make sure it is shippable to outside
it
US.
is. It
Thank
is
you.
shippable.
Okay.
I can ship to the outside of the U.S., so it will be through me. But I have a lady
Perfect.
that does the street team, and
Mm-hmm.
she does printing, and then I had the other lady, Jamie, who made other friend Jamie, who made the basic logo and all the tour dates
What
of the U.S.
money need me to go? It's like, take my money, give me the T-shirt, and where do I need to go?
It's only $25 for the tee, and there's a hoodie that's 40. So yeah,
There's a
yeah, there's a hoodie, and we have like 5 colors. It's like pomegranate. That was what made me think of it. It's pomegranate, and
thing.
we have forest green, black, and purple.
Ooh,
So we have.
that's gonna be tough.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get that done, and I'm gonna put that out on Instagram. And I wanted to keep it like a decent price, like not more than actual
Yeah,
band tees out there, because they're not an actual band. So and making sure that the lady gets her money. Yeah,
they're an actual
they
band
are
part. Okay.
inside.
Like,
Yes.
I can imagine him on stage. I can't imagine Kasia. I just imagine myself, oddly enough. It's so
Yeah.
strange. It's such a strange thing.
Yeah. That's then- and we have a lot of super fans that want to wear something that reminds them of rape on their body. So I
I
mean, it has.
wouldn't know why.
I am offering to, because the little goodie boxes that I made for the books, I actually sign it like the band. So I am offering to like sign the shirt with like fake signatures of the.
Mind you, what I'm hearing is, yes, please DM me at will, asking me for stuff,
Yeah,
because that's what I'm
yeah.
listening to.
Let's get off of here and let's go.
I okay, so I want this and this and this,
Thank you.
okay?
I
We'll talk.
appreciate this order.
We'll be talking because it's gonna be like, you know,
We'll get all the
since we talked
add-ons,
about
all the extras.
Carolyn.
Well,
Well,
thank you.
it has been a pleasure, and DM Randall,
Thank you very much. It has been
as
awesome.
as we mentioned, with this interview, you have signed up for a lifetime ARC agreement and or podcast presence.
Absolutely.
So in case that was not clear, this is signed in blood. Therefore, we will wait to talk to you again, either because of Kiri or because a tall, dark stranger
Yes. Our
with a very morally black compass might be coming,
yeah.
and we need all of that. because details, because we want to read. So thank you very much for joining us,
Thank you.
and we can talk to you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this so much. It has been so much fun. Thank you for letting me talk my voice off talking about these characters. Thank you.
And that was
Okay.
it.
We learned a lot today.
Yeah.
We need to keep an eye out. Clearly, we'll also be busy, girls. Just saying, we're gonna be busy. But yeah. Oh my Lord, so much that we learned today, and she was amazing. She's
She
very
was.
nice.
And yeah, it was a very nice talk, very nice conversation, and yeah, as you said, we want more.
They're like,
Yeah.
just saying, like Natalie and Kitty, and well, yeah. I mean, I kind of sign myself up, but it's like, just in case. Yep, we want more.
Yes.
And Betty, so we keep on being very busy girls.
Yes.
There is a couple of things I want to say to people. One of them is, we haven't annoyed Tamar in a while.
You're right.
But
We
we
need to
think
change
too
that.
right. So, basis on that, babe, where's the third book? It was a weekly reminder we stopped because, hey, a girl's got to breathe. But maybe we need to talk about it. Just saying. Tamar Shaw, this is your call out. We need to talk.
We do.
But apart from that, apart from annoying Tamar on the daily, weekly, whenever we can, I think next week we're going to be talking about a lot of chronicles. So many chronicles.
It will be the Chronicles week. Yes.
Right? I mean, I think it's going to be like bindings and choosings and so many things.
So many things are being given. So many things are
Right?
being
Ethan Weird.
are happening.
Ethan
What?
Weird. I don't know. We can squeeze that in somehow. But
It's happening there.
yeah, so many things. So I think, is it this time we get to talk about the chronicles?
It is. It is. And I can't wait. I really can't wait. Very excited as
If
always.
you guys don't know what we're talking about, again, that is on you. But have a look. This is someone we've been waiting to meet for a while. Not because we tried many times, but because we didn't have the balls to do it before.
True. Yeah, yeah. And it was like I'm feeling lucky. So today's the
Feeling
day.
lucky.
And
Let's try it. And guess what? So, with that in mind, first of all, keep an eye out because stuff will be happening in our page.
Yeah.
Because we'd like to tease you.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram.
Exactly. And now as always, I hand over to the queen to do her bidding.
No, as I was saying, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Note that we are also on TikTok now, although it's very short videos, but yeah, the craziness is all there. Go there and show us some love as well. Like this video if you did, and don't forget to also subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell. And also on Spotify, you can also listen to us on Spotify. So yeah, so make sure that you keep the as I was saying, the notification bell on so you can be notified every time we release new videos. And yeah, that's it. See you next time.
See you guys next time.
If you are curious about the book we were talking about, it is Raven Alder by D.M. Randall.